People deluded, I'm back again. Good evening. I hope you're all well. I hope you've all done what you needed to do with the day. Cracking on now, Arsenal fans. People, I don't think we're getting top four. I say this, but I am way more optimistic than I've been in recent weeks. Mathematically, it's still possible. I still want us to fight until the last day, as long as it's mathematically possible. Ideal scenario, mathematically, I think we can finish above fourth. So that I won't say it's the ideal scenario, but ideally, you'd be looking at Arsenal in a position. In the best of scenarios, would be us cementing fourth or looking like we're going to get Champions League qualification and advance into the final or the latter stages of the Europa League. You'd love that to be Arsenal in that top four Europa League. We've done what we needed to do, and I'm more optimistic. Admittedly, I still don't, like I said, I still don't think we're going to do it, people. But I'm a bit more optimistic because of just how things have gone our way, and we're fourth. We're fourth by a point. Us, United, and Chelsea is gonna continuously rotate. United dropped points against Liverpool. I'm not sure who they've got in midweek. But I know Chelsea have got to play Spurs, and then we've got to play Spurs on the weekend. So there's a lot of chopping and changing to be done. But it's gonna come down to away games, isn't it, people? Now it's good. We were on a decent bit of form of late, and I say that against the backdrop of, I say that because in the last 2-3 games, excluding the defeat to Barté, we've won them. We've probably got 3 wins in 4. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but on the backdrop of that, our form isn't necessarily the best. It's gonna come down to our away form. No matter what your opinions, good or bad, of the season or the manager or the players, the facts are we've only got 5 away wins this season, and we've got a lot of big tests to face away from home. We beat Bournemouth away from home. They're 10th, fair play. Newcastle are 15th. We beat Cardiff, Fulham, and obviously Huddersfield Town. You'd expect us to win them games, and if you're honest and you probably scrutinise them games, Fulham, terrific turnaround in us. We won 5-1 and we scored some good goals, but we had to turn that game around. Cardiff, it was a bit of oohing and ahhing the same. Huddersfield, we did our thing, but it could have went another way, to be fair with you. So yeah, Bournemouth kind of the same, but we did our job. We know we've been shaky under the sun. I mean, shaky away from home. Nothing new under the sun, essentially. To be fair, we beat Spurs away from home. If I can remember, no, we didn't. We beat them at the Emirates. That spoiled what I was going to say. But yeah, to be fair, we've got to put in a good result, a good performance against Spurs at the weekend. Obviously, we need to deal with what's in front of us at the time of making this video in Bournemouth and Spurs this week. If we could take 6 points this game week, or ideally 4, because let's be honest, you'd take a point off Spurs, you'd back Arsenal the way, but because of the way the two sides are in, you probably back Spurs to beat us in that game. But if we could get anything from 6 to 4 points, ideally 6, worst case scenario 4, again, we've put ourselves in a good position. If we just look at our away games to come, of course, obviously we're yet to play Spurs. That's going to go either way. Need to put in a good performance. Wolves away from home is not going to be easy. Everton away from home, we'd expect to win, but that could go either way. Watford away from home has been shaky last couple of seasons. Leicester, I'm always confident Leicester away from home, but I can't lie, it's always a long one. They make us work for the 3 points. And then obviously I believe we've still got to play Burnley, Palace and United, and there could be some other fixtures that I'm missing out. But it's the away form, people, the thing that really stays with me. I'm looking at Leicester, I'm looking at Watford, I'm looking at Everton, I'm looking at Wolves. You'd expect Arsenal to win them games, correct me if I'm wrong, people. But what actually happens on paper and what takes place in real life are 2 different things. So if you're one of the players, or if the group of the players, because these footballers, they live in a bubble, but they're professionals. As much as we say Mustafi doesn't learn from his mistakes, they have pride. They've got to be looking at the league like us to a degree, thinking, okay, cool, teammates, lads, soccer artists, Lacazette, teammates, etc. We're fourth now. We're a point ahead. We don't let this slip, sort of thing. We're a point ahead, so it's important not to let our heads drop if they go ahead of us or if we drop down the table. But we're near enough about. We look at our fixtures. We know away from home we've been poor. Let's put in some extra work in terms of positioning to stay rigid away from home. In terms of shutting out games away from home quicker. In terms of breaking down oppositions, because that's what it's going to come to. We're at that time of the season now, or if we're not there yet, we're approaching where you just got to get over the line. Performance levels are dipping and changing with a lot of players, for Arsenal included, just throughout the Premier League. You're seeing some people that started the season well are having a bit of dip. Some people that took slow to start going for some reasons other than their own are now starting to fly. There's some people that are just floating game by game. So it's about getting over the line. A lot of people, ourselves included, are now suffering from a fixture pile up, and now the fatigue in terms terms of the games that these players are playing is really starting to set in. We really need to put in a good performance in all of these away games, in my opinion, because that's what it's going to come down to. We know our away form last year was a big reason as to why we again missed out on the top four, and again it could come down to this. So if you're Unai Emery or any of these players, you've got to be looking at these away games as cup finals essentially. Like I said, Leicester and Watford are not going to be easy, in my opinion. Wolves are going to make it difficult. I'm confident against Everton, but you never know in these sort of games. Spurs, it goes without saying, it's a game against another top six rival. These sort of games go either way. So I can't lie, I'm way more confident in regards to getting top four than I have been throughout the course of the season and making vids, people. But I'm still not confident in the sense that I believe in our players. I'll always back my team to the end, but I just look at people around us. I don't think it's going to happen. If we can get some points out of these away fixtures. I mean, if we could get 12 points out of these 4 games, excluding Spurs, that would be great. If we could win all of them, that would be great. But you've got to think what actually looks decent on paper and what happens are two different things. If we play like how we did against West Ham, will we walk away with anything? Well, based on how Leicester are playing, you might actually beat them. But Wolves are going to make it difficult for us. Their fans are going to get behind them. Everton, I actually think we'll beat Everton. I know you lot will come here to laugh if we don't. Watford, I want revenge. You know, Troy Deeney, we can't lose to Troy Deeney's side, or he's going to be coming talking in the post-game conferences. But it's going to come down to the away form, people. And you look at the top 6 rivals, again, I don't have stats, shoot me if I'm wrong, people, but it doesn't leave you with confidence. So if you're any of these players and things, we've found ourselves fourth. We can't let this slip if we're going to have any chance of getting top 4. What I mean by that is we don't lose games we're not supposed to lose. Of course, we're not going to win every game until the end of the season, people. Bad results happen, but it's key that we take points, and especially games like this where we've got I know it's not away from home, and I'm going off topic and in topic here, but games against United and Spurs, them games they are back-to-back, they're essentially 6-pointers. So it's essentially a 12-pointer between the two sides. If we beat Spurs, obviously, I think Spurs are nailed on for third, but mathematically, I suppose they can still drop. If we take 3 points off Spurs, our top 6 rivals probably think we drop points. If we can take 3 points, that's a big 3 points in regards to the push. United at home, for obvious reasons you want to beat United, but if we take points off them, our direct rivals in regards to getting top 4. Do you see what I'm saying? Chelsea, the good thing is we ain't got to play Chelsea, but we've drawn points on each other. They beat us at their place, we beat them at theirs, and you're hoping that they're bad form, and obviously seeing Kepa refuse to be subbed, you're hoping them sort of things as an Arsenal fan persist with Chelsea to give us some sort of advantage. So I'm more confident, people, but as we approach these away games, starting with Spurs, no disrespect to Bournemouth, because we've got Bournemouth midweek, we need to play that. But in regards to Spurs, it starts there for me. If we're really going to get top 4, if we're really going to see what we're made of, if these players really want top 4 and to stand up to be counted, this is showing, because a lot hangs on our season. Mainly for me, I know money that's actually available at the club and money available for transfers consistently change, but you're seeing a lot of rumours in regards to the budget, which could, if we get top 4, which could be decent, or if we don't, which could put us in issues and would need to lead to more of these austerity measures. So in terms of how quickly we can accelerate progress, at least on paper, moving forward as a football club, relies on the top 4. Away from all of them sort of things with Arsenal wanting to get back to where we allegedly belong, these players, don't you want to be training Champions League? I miss the Champions League theme tune. What I really want to get rid of, people, is having to rush home on the underground trying to make 5:55 kickoffs. That's my main motivation for Champions League. I'm sick of Europa League, to be honest with you, people. We deserve to be in it because we haven't played within the last 2 years of a side that deserves to qualify for Europe. So it is Europe's top competition. So you get it, but yeah, man, don't these players want to be playing in Europe's elite competition, man? And obviously, it's a big pool for incoming players if we're playing in the Champions League, because Arsenal, we've had to be very careful for many years as to the sort of players we sign, and we know a lot of the values that are still at the club still allow us to sign players like Torreira, despite the fact that there was Champions League interest. But the longer Champions League football misses us, or we miss it, the longer these sort of merits that people judge Arsenal on or find Arsenal an attractive proposition to sign for our club won't really last, to be honest with you, people. And if we're honest, if we're going against, obviously, I know I'm going off topic again, but we've seen Monchi, forgive me for mispronunciations, incoming to the club and what he wants to do. in regards to the transfer strategy, if we don't get Champions League, that could show more of the sort of thing we're gonna do. Like, no disrespect to Denis Suarez, but you're looking at, we don't have Liverpool or United money, but you look at the type of signings Liverpool have made of recent. United can physically make, City can make. I'm not calling for us to sign them sort of players, and we can't. But in terms of strategy, going after them sort of players, better yet, when we signed Ozil and Alexis Sanchez, Champions League makes a difference between being able to go for them players and not being able to. Now, I say all of that. We've been linked with some big money moves for players that for over players that when we haven't been in Europe. And to be fair, we signed Aubameyang when we weren't in the Champions League for 50 odd mil in the January. So money always has a way of finding its way at Arsenal when it's time to sign players. But it is what it is, man. The players, the objective was the top four. I must admit, a couple of weeks ago, it didn't look like this was even possible, and I still don't think we're gonna do it. But we have one hand on it. We have a duty to our fans, and the players have a duty to themselves to simply compete and give it their all. If we don't make it, I want to look back in May and say, all right, cool, yeah, we dropped points here and there, but we more or less gave it what we had. I don't want to look back and think, okay, we started off poorly in that game. We were lucky to get a point, but we could have taken 3. Like, you see, I know Arsenal fans know what I'm getting at. So on that note, I'm going to wrap it up, people. But there wasn't really a point to this vid. I thought, let me just say some things on my mind. So that's what I did. People, thank you for watching Deluded.